Hey, Abe, how you doing?
Hey Michael, how are you?
Good, good, good. I don't think Salman's gonna join. He had a conflict.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for his agenda. I didn't see it, so we'll go over some of the stuff that I got from the meeting minutes
Sure. Yeah.
from last 2 weeks ago. I posted those. I'm not sure if you had a chance to see them yet or not.
I haven't, but I mean overall, obviously I was on the call, so
Yeah,
we can consider them as approved if you want. I think we're two of us here. So
yeah.
um uh, did you have I wanted to ask, I don't know if Solomon sent something, apologize, I was at an offsite all week last week in
Mhm.
Austin. Um there was a second meeting with the BSI, think, with German BSI, the
Yeah,
Thursday before.
I did not get
I
a chance
wasn't
to.
able to. Okay, I see.
Let
Okay.
me cut you off before you get to that question. Yeah,
No, no, no,
I
that's
wasn't
fine. That's
able to
fine.
attend.
I'll reach out. I'll reach out just to because I know Salman was um
Yeah.
oh, hey, we have Jens. Hi.
Hey, Jens, how you
Hi
doing?
guys, I'm good. How are you?
Hey.
Good, good, good. I was just telling him Salman's not going to make it. He has a conflict for this week, so I'll be leading this call. But we were just talking about the BSI call. I think it was last Thursday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. I don't think it was
Yeah,
even.
same here, unfortunately. I made the first one, but the second one I had a
Yeah.
conflict. Yeah.
Um,
So, were you there, Chance? Or
no,
ah,
unfortunately not.
okay.
I
I see.
had,
I guess it's we have
uh,
to rely on Solomon then.
yeah, I pinged him on it on the Slack of the CCC, but I think I'm
Okay.
the only one using that Slack sometimes.
No, I just I've been, no pun intended, slacking a little bit on Slack recently, but just
Well, we have this thing
like
called, our jobs. And sometimes,
exactly. Yeah, but
but yeah,
well, it is related. So just an FYI, guys, we so AMD will have a keynote. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, if you're not. So Michael, will you be attending the Computational Computing Summit
yeah, I actually will.
conference?
I'll be
Okay,
there in
okay,
person.
perfect,
Nice.
excellent.
There, yeah,
Okay,
for the
same
company.
same here. Okay, so I just wanted to see who will be attending. Um, yeah, so basically, AMD will have a keynote presentation,
Nice.
actually from my boss, Hugo, and then we'll have also, there's, I think, I believe, a panel, executive panel. There will be breakout sessions. So um, it just basically would be good since we will be there, maybe to carve some time to, just have a face-to-face conversation, get to know each other, number
Yeah,
one, and to,
absolutely.
Mhm.
just see if there's anything that we can discuss, as well as I said, since I personally have my CVP there, and a couple of others from AMD attending. I don't want to like make it a huge meeting or anything, but
Right.
just kind of like just an FYI, if you guys need to just let me know. We'll try to coordinate that. I'll send a note as well to Salman. So I don't know if he will be attending or not, but
I think he did say that
uh,
he got approval as well. So he'll be.
okay,
My understanding is that he's going to attend as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I know there are conversations about the CCC actual keynotes that Mike Purcell will be presenting.
Mhm.
I know that uh, yeah, so there's a lot of like work that's happening there as well. So I have to catch up on that with Laura on an outreach committee. But I think it would be a great opportunity in a couple of weeks to get together. So side note.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
agreed. I don't know.
okay.
Now, this will be my first consortium conference, so I wasn't
Mhm.
aware of, and I don't know if like the SIGs have their own, not booth, but like their own little introductory thing for some of the attendees. But I thought that might also be something, even if it's unofficial, that we can prepare for it to have at the conference to again for broader engagement.
So yeah, so I'll tell you. So this is the third year for me.
Okay.
But this year I know it changed from last year in terms of sorry. the venue, and
Mhm.
also they used to be like table, like more like tables, not a booth, really, for
Right.
different companies as sponsors, etc. So obviously CCC had one as well. This year, I think it was not really as useful as like for, but that, at least that was the what I was told by the organizers from like the surveys they make after the conference. Um, and However, Mike Purcell has a keynote presentation.
Hmm.
If that basically to say, hey, these like maybe to talk about that we also now actually we have a new initiative around standards and regulations and things like that. Just kind of like raising the profile of the SIG. I think that would also hopefully will because that's one of the things we also I know that Mike and all like on the CC and the board obviously we want to bring people to the CCC, right, as well, so that showing that we are working on different fronts right now, the tag, the different aspect, attestation, etc. So, but also standards and regulations. So I think that's maybe I'm just thinking that. So I don't know if you or Solomon want to send that night to Mike. I can email that and CC you guys, all of you here on the group. I mean, it's pretty much like,
Yeah. My plans for after this. Yeah.
the four of us. So, but anyway, just again, if it doesn't derail his, I don't know what's in his presentation.
Right.
Maybe as a even sometimes it could be just at the end of it, but like, hey, just kind of word, if it makes sense, if it in the flow of his presentations. So the keynote presentations are 20 minutes, just an FYI. And then there's like different tracks and breakout sessions. And yeah, so it's actually, I think one thing that it's by the way, it's like a mix of I would say business and technical. Like
Hmm.
it's really a mix of both, generally speaking, which is actually, to be honest, it's like OC3. I would say that's the closest thing. So you
Okay.
have presentations are more like about use cases and like the deployments, and then there are like really deep dive technical sessions as well. So just like it's really good mix of both. So and this year, so it used to originally it was created by Opaque Systems.
Right.
And this year is actually co-organized with Linux Foundation. So that's actually, Opega, by the way, has done a great job. But I have to say they kept it neutral. It was not like, hey, promoting Opega or anything.
Right.
And obviously they brought everybody together to their credit. Same as Edgeless, right? When they do OC3, they keep it really as an ecosystem conference. Obviously more, uh, not more, but like because of the time zone is it's just focused on Europe. But the CC Summit, I would say, is really probably the biggest one for the CCC in terms of size, I would say. But maybe Felix will disagree, but that's fine. But yeah, so yeah, definitely looking forward to meeting you guys there, and I think the I don't know. So do you want to, Micah? Do you want to send it out to Mike Bursell or
Yeah. I
do?
was just gonna do it in
Okay,
the team chat after this call. I just wanted to find out more about how in the past it's ran.
my
But
opinion. Send an
yeah.
email. The reason why
Yeah,
Okay.
Mike can be sometimes slow on
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
chat.
absolutely.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's only that.
Yep.
So
Fair
and I
enough.
think also it keeps yeah, kind of just if he needs to add other people, he will add other people to the email thread and that way. But
Okay.
it's primarily or for responsiveness. We're already June 1st and the conference is on the 23rd. So yeah, just
Yeah.
to give him time to if he feels that it's I personally think it's just a word, maybe even verbally, I think would be good.
Yeah.
Um and if he needs a slide, we can prepare something for him so that he doesn't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
right? So
Fairly
that's what I'm
quickly.
saying.
You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
think we have our charter. And slide would just be basically a restatement,
Yeah. Yeah.
reorganization of the charter. So
Yeah, but we have to make it a little bit punchier, right?
yeah,
Like to
yeah. It
make
won't
people
be like
excited
word for
about
word for
like
our charter. No,
I'm
just a
kidding.
couple
I'm
bullet
kidding.
points
I'm
there
joking.
and what our
Yeah,
philosophies are. Yeah.
that's the keynote writer in me because I actually prepared our like even our CTO 2 years ago. I
Yeah.
prepared the keynote. So anyway, so I get those comments like make it punchier. It's like all right,
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah.
it. So
Keep them engaged. That's the key.
yeah,
Keep them engaged.
All right.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So from last week, again, we'll just I posted out the meeting minutes. I think we can consider them read and approved.
Approve from my
Right.
side, yes. Let's say, yeah.
Okay. And so for this week, I think there were just a couple of follow-ups there. One of them was I know Jens, you were going to come back to the group when you're ready for the to show continuous attestation and see how that
Yeah.
actually you give us like a little primer on how that kind of works and then what the so if you want to set a date for that or share it with the team when you expect that to so we can
Today.
carve that out. Oh, today?
Yes, I
Oh,
can share it with you
Oh,
right after
oh,
this
nice.
call. Yes,
Okay.
it is a preview version for you internally, so please don't share because there might be like
yeah.
one, two adjustments here and there. But we will put this out
All right,
potentially even.
just to be clear, this call is recorded. So if there's
Yeah.
anything
That's
that you
not a
want to keep to
problem.
yourself,
Yeah.
okay,
No,
just to
it's not. It's not a problem. I will not show it to you
okay.
on this call. I will send it to you
No,
via
no, no,
email
no. I'm
after
just
this
this is
call.
for you. This is not
Yeah.
like
No, 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 no. I clarified it with Matter. I have the rights to do this.
yeah.
It will come out in the next couple of days on the official MITRE website.
Okay.
Um, and again, it is a framework for continuous remote attestation for confidential computing. So it defines a couple of layers. It's a layered framework where we say, okay, we have layer one, which is the security of the machine, where we establish AMD SCP SMP, where we establish TDX, where we establish NVIDIA framework, that the chip is actually authentic, that the trusted execution environment is set up, and so on. And then we add layers. Layer two is all about the image and the workload, and layer three is about the runtime. And there are sub layers in there, and you will see that in the framework. Um, it is a framework that had to be, it came from the need of government entities looking into confidential computing and really applying it to sometimes very sensitive environments, sometimes sensitive environments in secure critical infrastructure, for example. It also applies to edge environments a little bit where you have lots of sensors in OT that result from the ICS framework of MITRE, where it's about like, hey, we have all these Rockwell sensors on critical infrastructure for energy, but they all report to this specific machine in the cloud. And that machine in the cloud was the target of Iranian hackers like 6 days a week for the last 3 months. So they want to secure all of this better, and they wanted to lay out a framework that can be applied to that. And that framework is coming out for public review. It's not the definitive framework yet. So what we
Right.
want in the next step now is it's nice that all the academics from MITRE, which are like double PhDs and super smart people, think about this, but we want now feedback from auditors. We want feedback from people in the industry. We want feedback from AMD. We want feedback from the cloud providers. From the banks, obviously, Michael,
Right.
would be incredibly helpful to get feedback. And then after that feedback round, we will update the version on the website that MITRE will do and put out a reference implementation
Right.
for this framework, which will be publicly available. One will sit on the servers within government that is maybe not that accessible, but we also are looking for reference implementation that sit in Google Public Cloud. One will be there, and a few other cloud providers where we will put this publicly available for others to see in action. And really looking forward to this. Would love to hear your opinion. It's a big one. It is. The main framework has 50 pages, and then we have three
Okay.
annex A, B, C. One is a compliance control mapping where we say, oh, these are compliance controls, PCI, NIST, whatever, like lots of
Okay.
different frameworks that could be applied in this way. Then we have the actual threat model that we utilized for this together with the guys from ESTM, S-Team, MITRE S-Team framework, MITRE Embed framework, MITRE Attack. And then we have Annex B, which is the provider attestation service architecture annex, which makes a differentiation between what is currently offered in the public clouds. There are very, very different levels for confidential computing in the clouds, right? You have with AWS a framework where you also have the AWS Nitro that interacts there. Microsoft is, if you want to be a purist, much more secure, but still has Microsoft as a trusted party. GCP has right now a version that is not yet in public, but it will be in July, that supports Coconut SVSM, where you can eradicate GCP completely from the trust chain, which is super exciting. And so on and so on. That annex goes a bit into that. And I will share it literally after this call. I wanted to share it before, but I had a wild morning.
No,
So,
that's actually fine. And I was gonna say, if since it's just the three of us on this call, I think something like this, and this is more of a question than it's gonna sound like a statement. I think something like this, we should probably advertise or something, like where we're going
yeah,
to maybe get some people to attend the call, that normally may have a hard time deciding on which one to come to.
yeah,
So maybe this is something that we could share out via our various LinkedIn profiles or something like that when you're ready, and do like
yeah.
an announcement of that for
That would be amazing. Would
where.
massively appreciate that. Yeah, I will let everyone know the moment it's live and can be
Yeah.
shared, and then we have official links for that to
Okay.
the MITRE website, which is still in preparation today.
Yeah, Jens, if I may comment, just so I sit on the outreach committee, so
Yeah,
so what I can do is, and this is just practical. I mentioned that before. Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning are the best time to post on
yeah,
social. So I don't know how it's up to you guys. But the other thing is amplification. Like, the algorithms typically what they do is like you post something, and if the CCC official account re likes or repost immediately, that kind of it's like snowballs.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say as soon as you have the date, let me know. I'll bring it up to Laura. She's the chair of the
Thank you.
outreach committee.
Yeah,
So in that way, so we are ahead of time, so that because
yeah.
basically it's LF social team. So that, and I'm explaining the mechanics. I know it's
Hmm.
like basically they will have to just prepare a quick like draft, right? Even if it was they have to prepare for it. So literally,
Yeah.
it's more like you click set, you click post, and then they will like or whatever, so that they are aware of it. It's coming. That's all. And
Hmm.
because of the conferences coming soon, which is actually
Yeah,
good timing, by the way,
yeah,
if you guys can
yeah,
do it before the conference,
yeah.
the
We
CC
can.
Summit conference, I
Yeah,
think that'll be just perfect, because that will just
yeah,
kind of take the uh, amplify,
yeah,
sorry, the message. So just
yeah.
my opinion and some from experience on these things.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. No, absolutely. I did get in touch with Laura already to kind of let her know
Oh,
it's
okay, there you
coming.
go. Okay, perfect.
But
Okay,
but I didn't send her any details yet, so you will receive it before
okay,
Laura. Um,
okay.
the what we are thinking is, like, I would be totally happy to say in the next CCC meeting that we will talk more about the framework in this session, and then we maybe get some more people into this
Yeah.
working group, which I would really love, because I think it's one of the most important working groups right now, if not the most important, and it's underappreciated. Um, I would be more than happy to focus the discussion in this working group on this working group. We will at some point have one call at the normal CCC sessions where I have the guys from MITRE over, and where we will introduce it like kind of officially. Um, we wanted originally to include more people from the CCC, but we couldn't. Then we had some limitations, um, uh, because it's coming from government and so on.
Mhm.
And but we are very much looking forward to share and to discuss and to get this in review. And there might be purists that say this is bad, and there might be some purists that say this is great. It's always a thing with, especially on the engineering side.
Yeah.
But we think it's a very, very good step, and
Yeah, no, I mean,
really looking
ultimately,
forward.
also you want like not just you, I think we want engagement from the community and the ecosystem to make things more robust, right? And
Yeah.
that feedback will always, so no, this sounds exciting. Looking forward to hearing more about
Yeah.
it. But
It's
yeah,
the
no,
first big
absolutely.
one putting something out. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it
exactly.
sounds kind of like, I could be wrong, but and we'll learn more. But it sounds kind of like what you guys are describing there aligns with the CACAF or CCAF or whatever acronym
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
the
Yeah.
around
CC
Yeah.
it. Like you're
assurance framework.
describing
Yeah.
like different levels or different things you should assess at those levels to gain assurance over
Yeah.
that particular event or that particular implementation is a better word.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that's good
Yeah.
as well because I think to something also from the last meeting that Solomon, I think, wants to push forward, and I agree that we need to close the loop on this CACAF thing. Like, go back and say,
Yeah.
okay, we made the corrections. Can we get this ratified and then pushed out as an official position? Um,
Yes.
and so I think that's good that we have something else that aligns to it from an external organization or a peer.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And MITRE has some absolutely brilliant people. Most of the writing work was on me, but the content obviously is a lot of deep discussions with MITRE, also with Invari, which is actually a spin-off from the NSA for their kernel
Mm-hmm.
and runtime layers that they um, try to make more secure. And they also worked on this. So from the NSA Research Directorate, it then became this company Invari. But that's for the kernel level uh, security controls that can be applied to this. So it's
But
part of this actually. It's really interesting. It was quite a journey working with them for a year now to make this happen. And well, it's very interesting. And I'm looking forward to hear all of your opinion, feedback, review, whatever you want to throw back at me on this. Please feel free to do so. And don't hold
No,
back. Don't hold back.
no, we won't do about. I think one thing I would say as really a general statement on it from an AMD's perspective, and this is not on this specifically, but I know that at least the direction our CTO is always where possible, where realistic, standardization as much as possible, right? Because
Mhm.
that's the one of the things. So, and I don't know if you guys thought about that, and
Yeah.
that's something I would say. Definitely looking forward to see when you share it with us, because that's one thing that you know even remote attestation today,
Yeah.
right? One of actually in the CC, even in the CCC study that we ordered, that I believe from IDC, if I recall, late
Yeah.
last year, or it was
I
published.
see.
That's yeah, right. So that's one of a lot of these like fragmentation is always as you know is a slowing or
Yeah.
reducing friction is critical, right? So and people's like, oh, here you go, there's an attestation from this entity, this entity, and they're all good ones. I'm not questioning the value, like what are these attestation
Mhm.
good? They are, but it's just from like the end customer, right? I mean, I'm looking at you, Michael, right? As a fact, I'm sure
Yeah.
you'd be happy if there was one attestation. And I'm not saying it's an easy problem to solve, but I would say
Oh no.
like whatever initiative, I would tell you, like at AMD, we did that in a different uh Silicon Root of Trust, for example. We worked with
Yes.
NVIDIA, with Google, Microsoft, and Calyptra, right? I know it's a different topic. What I'm saying is like there's no advantage of like to making it open source and pushing it like to the ecosystem. That basically, and then it's been adopted, right? And it's not just on
Yeah.
CPU, it could be on the hard, storage, anything, a platform for that matter. So the point is, like, I think for anything to be, of course, there's some use cases that don't care about standardization, but if you want something to be adopted,
Yeah.
that's reducing that friction by standardizing as much as possible. I know it's not always possible. That I think that would be probably
Yeah.
one of the main things I'll be looking at when you share it.
Yeah, we don't want to go as far as calling it a standardization framework. We didn't
Yeah,
put the standardization in the naming yet. It recommends
yeah,
specific ways of doing it, but I think standardization would be the next logical step.
yeah.
But it is a path leading directly to it, and we have some methodologies in there that could very well be a standard and worthy of it. But trust me, I had like a million heated debates about this topic with Nathaniel from AMD.
You know.
Yes, I know very, very well. But at the same time, like I'm also quite puristic when it comes to the topic of attestation. And working with Joshua Goodman and Paul Rover from MITRE, who are very, very well, if not like top five authors on this topic globally, that it was absolute pleasure. And I love when you can be as independent as can be with your attestation, right? And don't trust like five parties on the in the whole trust chain. You have to cut out as many as possible if you want to get a real attestation. And from that point of view, what you guys do at AMD, I'm a big fan because your step with Coconut SVSM was a very, very big path for that. And Google now implementing it, it enables us with AMD SEV SMP and together with Coconut SVSM to do like complete independence. And that is incredibly powerful. Well, AMD is kind of still in there, right? Because you
No, no,
produce
no.
a chip, but
It is, but the thing
that's
is,
it.
like,
That's
the
it.
point is, like, to me, like, even everybody will win. Intel will win. Nvidia will win. Like,
Yeah.
there's no competitive advantage in that. That's the way the reason I was like in this sense, right? So, like, we will compete on other things. Like, okay, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
more about like, but CC to be adopted, which is the purpose of the CCC, to
Yes.
make it as quote unquote easy as possible, as seamless, as frictionless as possible.
Yeah.
That's something, and I'll tell you, like, aside from the study, in many meetings, I'm talking at AMD specific, with different, whether it's government entities, whether in different countries, whether it's customers and customers, right, to healthcare, financial services, other like really, it was like, can you guys, not AMD, but like, is there like a way of like for me to get that attestation in a much more, maybe even as not necessarily standard, but even a framework guideline as it was what we talked about, and that's why I agree with Michael with, that the CCAF or CACAF, whatever we want to
Yeah.
call it, is kind of like, we'll call it framework, even if it's not like necessarily standardization. Maybe standardization will come later, which is fine, but at least
Yeah.
some direction, some path that
Mhm.
the ecosystem, whether silicon vendors, whether cloud vendors, OEMs, or enterprise, like hardware OEM, et cetera, like everybody works towards a North Star. And I think that's
Yeah.
that's the part that really, as a feedback from customers, I get all the time, and
Yeah.
that's something that definitely, as I said, I'm happy to hear that you mentioned that. So yeah,
Yeah. I'm actually at an event of AMD and TensorWave later today in New York,
okay,
where we will talk about that topic too a bit. But
okay,
yeah,
no
no,
problem.
I will share uh, right after this call with you. You just have to write the email, and
Sounds
then I
good.
will send it
Sounds good.
out.
Yeah, I would say from our perspective or as a customer's perspective, having MITRE's name attached to it
Yeah.
goes a long way, especially in the financial services space, because pretty much
Hmm.
every organization uses MITRE's attack framework as part of our, threat catalog, and we
Yeah.
talk about it. So having that attached to it helps quite a bit in for internal discussions around why do we think this is valuable. It's not just vendor speak. This is from a
Hmm.
recognized organization that we rely on for these other
Yeah.
things. I think to Abe's point, yeah, 100%. As a consumer, we do greatly appreciate when there's a standard or something that we can point to as guidance, not just because it adds validity to the conversation or the argument, but also because it's somewhat deterministic and it can help
Hmm.
know the difference between, in some cases, good and not good.
Yeah.
That makes our conversations a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, that's one of the goals. MITRE is dual use always. And whilst the origins of this need to create this document came from government entities, it is always dual use and it is written that way. So, with that in mind. So, now really looking forward to your feedback, guys. And let's get this going. And then we can also tell the CCC that people should join this working group and have a chat. And next time we talk about it, we can
Yeah.
have a bigger discussion here.
So when you guys are so when you're ready for that, we'll work on the or you guys will actually just maybe share out the LinkedIn or post or whatever,
Yeah,
and we can just share it across our space using a
perfect.
guidance around being Tuesday or Wednesday morning being the better time.
Yeah.
So
We won't make tomorrow, but
yeah,
it's
that's
in the
fine.
final stage. It's just with format spell check last resort. And tomorrow afternoon, I have a session with the working group, and I expect Dr. Spina from MITRE to let us know everything is done and will be published on that date X, and that should be in the next week. Like it's there. It's there. We have green light from MITRE leadership.
That works great. One other thing, I did share the LinkedIn on my LinkedIn about the call for PCI QSAs. So a couple of people have reached out. Surprisingly, I had a lot of reach outs from people who aren't QSAs. so, so I went back to reread the message. What did I miss? but yeah, I'll curate that list and then come back to this group with how I think we go forward there.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
that's good.
All right. I don't
All right.
have anything based on the minutes from last call. I don't have anything. I believe again, the focus should be, and what I'll put out for this call's meeting minutes is going back to the TAC and getting
Mhm.
that CACAF ratified, as well
Mhm.
as finding out information from Solomon how the BSI call went, and what other opportunities we have to engage with some of these regulatory bodies.
So Micah, I actually I meant to ask when you mentioned it just earlier, but
Sure.
so like is that process clear? Like on the ratification, when you say ratification by the TAC and then it goes to the governing board, like what's like I'm not sure. Like I'm not. It's not clear to me what's the process here.
My understanding from listening the past calls was that we submitted the CAF over to the TAC. Mike
Mhm.
Purcell kind of shepherded through. They came
Yep.
back with some feedback around it, and that
Mhm.
we incorporated that feedback. Once they approve it, I think it goes to the governing board to then say, "Yep, we're all good with attaching the consortium's name to this." And then we share it out on the consortium's website. Uh,
It just to me, I would say it's not a concern, but it's just a bit kind of here's my thinking.
yes.
Um, it's we technically it's the standards and regulations that you know um shepherd in the document or the framework, I should say. But then it's the tech that's ratifying. It's kind of a little bit feels awkward to me. That's uh,
I think it's because there's
uh,
some technical components to it. Maybe that's why the TAC is opining on it.
Okay. No. Which is I told of course they have to
Right.
say thumbs up, thumbs down. But first of all, like well, I hope they will, and if not, I think we should clearly. I would love to understand because I'm not on the tech, but I'll ask my counterpart from AMD who's on the tech if that will be a formal vote because this is very important, right? That's
Right.
like as you right. So that's number one because I don't want this like to be just like by implied approval, right? So that's
Right.
one. And then to me, go like again, I'm not trying to add red tape here, but because the document like the framework is so important that I don't want it to be like just kind of like, as I said, by implied approval. Like it should be
Oh, I
explicit.
agree with
So
you.
to
Yeah.
yeah.
It
So
should
to
be something
me,
that
like
The
It
consortium
comes back
itself
from
should
the
take
TAC.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, but like basically it's like the TAC votes and says thumbs up, thumbs down if it's majority and it goes, and then it comes back like we can very quickly say I'll be surprised if any of us will uh, question it or not question it, but like says no. And then to me, it's the standards of regulators, regulation, sorry, SIG should present to the governing board and say, hey, it's been approved by TAG, it's been approved by SIG. We recommend to the governing board to, and they will vote because I attended a couple of governing board on behalf of my boss. So that's my suggested path. Please, like between you and
I'm
Solomon,
fine with
discuss
that
that with
path,
Mike.
especially seems
No,
like
no,
you
I'm
have
okay, but
but yeah.
Mike is the right person to kind of like process wise, but I would say I'm just kind of because I've seen in the past things been approved like approved they were not actually voted, they were approved
Right.
because a couple of people, but you could argue, hey, and there was like so what at least on the outreach committee, whenever we decide, before we decide on something, I literally I give a short I request to have a short deadline, like 2 weeks to vote and say, okay, if you have until this date to vote, after that, like basically, if you didn't vote, your fault. You're not, it's not, you can't
Right.
complain. But that part is, it's not clear to me what's the process. And this is, again, it's not to add red tape, but the framework is so important. And frankly, I don't want to commit AMD to something that's not like fully, again, we reviewed it and I think we still have some edit potentially or some comments potentially, not edit, some clarifications through the tag. At least my counterpart told me that he has, but he will work that through the tag. But he didn't say, oh, there was a voting period that was open for ratification for vote in the tag, and that concerns me to be honest.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
does that
that's
make sense?
fine.
Or
It makes sense. It sounds like though you probably need to follow up with Mike Purcell to find out because I think he was the one who was shepherding all this, find out what the status
yeah,
of it is. And if you,
yeah.
from what I heard you say there, apparently there is some additional comments that are incoming for the kickback
I don't think
or
that yeah, nothing major from my
okay.
colleague told me, but I would not even put that. I think it's more about the process, right? What is the process, regardless of
Sure.
the comments, right? It's like it should be a formal vote from the TAC, and that way, whether it's open for a week or 2 weeks, usually we don't go for more longer than 2 weeks in any of the committees or sick,
Right.
because otherwise the more time you give to people, the less, and I include myself in that. And so,
Well, things
like,
get prioritized above it. Yeah.
yeah, right. So yeah, so just clarifying that process, and I would personally would love to see a formal vote on that from the TAC, and then he comes back to us and say, hey, it's been voted. Yeah, I don't know, like yeah, I don't know, 8 out of 10 or whatever, how many members are in the representatives on the with vote. Actually, with voting rights, it's not all members on the TAC have
Yeah,
voting rights, right?
yeah,
Right.
That's
exactly.
the other thing to make sure. So we have to be specific on that, so that I guess because by the time it goes to the governing board, I guarantee you, whether it's Nelly or someone else, it's her job as a chair. She will question is like, you guys got like, and again, it's not just Nelly,
Right.
anybody from on the board, they would say like, hey, how did you guys get to this, right? Like it's everybody's. So I just wanted to make sure we're doing things in the proper way.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
Do
I
you
think
want
it's
to
fine
take
for the
do you want to
conversation.
send a note to Mike or
Yeah, I'll
and
send an email
Solomon?
to Mike on that,
Okay.
include
All right.
everybody on it.
Okay.
To ask them where we're at in the process and what is the process and where we're at in it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right.
Cool. All right.
That's all I had for a second.
Awesome. All right. Anything else?
No,
No?
you have the
Okay.
framework in your email.
All right. I'm sorry, what?
You
Include the
should have
framework?
the.
Oh,
No,
yeah. Yeah.
you should have that in your email.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. You just sent it over. Perfect. All
Yeah,
right. All right. Well, if there's
all
nothing else,
set.
then we'll give 19 minutes back.
All
Go
right.
sit, Mike.
Thanks.
Have a
Yeah.
great day.
Have a
Talk
Okay.
great
soon.
week.
You too. You
Yeah.
too. Bye.
Bye.